friends, myself, Dr. Shekhi Pratima, Ahmednagar Jilla Maratha Vidyaprasaraka Samajas, New Arts, Commerce and Science College, Ahmednagar. Demand analysis is the chapter 3, A part of microeconomics of class 12 as per your economics textbook. This chapter is an effort to analyze the concept of demand. Demand analysis is concerned with consumers' behavior. Before we have to start subunit law of demand, we're going to discuss what is demand. Demand means it comprises of three things. It means desire, it means ability to pay, and it means willingness to pay. How three meet or how they interconnected? Let me know what do you mean by term demand. When you desire buy something, when you want to buy something, when you wish to buy something, that is called demand. But just want, just wishing to have something will not fulfill the demand. Basically, we know the demand means it comprises these all three things. First one is desire, second one is willingness to purchase, and third one is ability to pay. Desire means what? Desire means an urge to have something. In economics, demand means a desire which is backed by willingness and ability to pay. For example, if a person has the desire to purchase a car but does not have the purchasing power, then it will be simply a only desire is not demand. We know the maximum commodity we want to, but the only desire cannot fulfill your demand. The first step is you have a desire to buy something. You have the ability to buy. Means you have the money or the resources to buy the something. So the demand means a desire which is backed by willingness and ability to pay. So what is the meaning by ability to pay? It's depend on your purchasing power. Means the consumer's purchasing power. Like consumer's income. For example, a beggar's desire to have a lunch in a 5-star hotel. Okay, he cannot become demand for he has no ability to pay because he never earned some income. So that's why we never say that the beggars has created the ability to pay. Then second is willingness to buy or purchase. Means what? It means the consumer should be ready to part with the money. For example, Miser's desire to own car would only remain desire, for he lacks the willingness to part with money, means ability to pay. So the demand is basically it's a relative concept, means it's related to time and most important it is related to the price. Basically, demand is depend to the consumer's purchasing power or money. Before we will start the law of demand, you have already studied the demand schedule or the concept of demand. We know that there are two concepts. First is the individual demand, second is the market demand schedule. Okay, you have already these all things studied. So you have to discuss the also the demand curve. Then the types of demand. There are 5 types of demand. The first is the direct demand, second is indirect demand, third is complementary or the joint demand. Then fourth is the composite demand and fifth is the competitive demand. Then we have discussed also the determinants of factors affecting demand. Okay, these all topics we already studied, but we know what is the importance about come to the main topic, the law of demand. Okay, so in this schedule we just discussed the statement of the law of demand, and we just also discussed the symbolically what is the relationship between the demand and price. But this part is most important to your board exam, because we know the law of demand maximum time. The board asked that question, explain the law of demand in detail. Okay, so let's come to the law of demand. The law of demand was introduced by Professor Alfred Marshall in his book Principles of Economics in 1890. So this introduction, it's related to your board exam. This is most important. Why? Because maximum time board includes some question related to then we have discussed the main point, the statement of this law. Okay, so statement the statement is totally explain the concept of demand, then the law of demand. Other things being equal or constant, higher the price of a commodity, smaller is the quantity demanded, and lower the price of a commodity, larger is the quantity demanded. In other words, we know the other factors remaining constant. If the price of a commodity rises, demand for it falls. And when price of a commodity falls, demand for commodity rises. It means it's an inverse relationship between demand and price. So inverse relationship means what? It's an opposite relationship. So first sentence of this statement is other thing being equal or constant. Means what? This law is assume some fundamental assumptions. We have already studied the determinants of demand, like the price, then income, price of substitute and complementary goods, then consumers, taste, habits, fashions, then the population, etc. But in this law, we assume that these determinants or the factors is constant, means only price will change, but other factors is constant. So this law is assume that situation. So that's why this sentence is most important. The other factors or the things being equal. Okay. So the law of demand, which will guide you, which will help the process of the production. Then what to produce, when to produce, and how to produce, and how much to produce. These all things guide the law of demand. So this statement is most important for exam. Before we have start the next point, I will also the remember that the always you have remind that statement, because this statement is explain these laws in detail. Then come to the next point, the how do you write to this law symbolically. Okay, we explain the relationship between demand and price. There is an inverse relationship between demand and price. So symbolically, if we have expressed the relationship, so the dx is equal to function of px. So d means what? D means demand. Okay, f means function. Then the last word is px. Okay, so the px means what? Price of commodity. And x, we know the x is a commodity. You have selected any commodity, but symbolically we have select just the x commodity. It is explained that it's a functional relationship between demand and price. Basically price will determine the demand, means if price falls demand will rise, and if price rise demand is false. Okay, so that's why it's a it's an inverse relationship. But this law is explained the other things being equal or constant, only price will be changed. Means always sometime it is increases or sometime it is decreases. So if the price is false, so that time the consumer demanded the extra units of that commodity. Okay. Then second thing is if price will rise, so that time consumer demanded the limited commodity, otherwise the limited units of that commodity. So that is the relationship between the demand and price. But we assume that some situation, means basically the factors which is determine the demand, otherwise the determinants of demand, means which was decide the demand, which will the explain the concept of demand. So those factors calculate the demand. In this law, we assume it's a constant. So that's why we have used that word, the other things beings are equal. Okay.